So another whistle. This time will go the way of South Metro. He had an option in short. He decided against that. Went the longer option, and it'll be cut off by Landy. Sailing over the head of the ruckman. As you heard, Mitch Hansen will collect it. He's held without it there. And a 2-on-1 situation ensues. South Metro win out. The race is on, but the ball will win that. Over the line it crosses. So we'll have a throw in. Centre wing side, the halfway point. Two rucks go at it. Fascinating battle that looks to be. Bursting away from traffic was the captain in Greaves. A high long ball will be out of play. Out on the full it lands. So South Metro, nice little hit up ball. Will find the chest of Mountford it was. He wheels and goes. No time to waste. He's got an option down the line. Holds onto a good juggling mark. Under aerial pressure it was. He's quick to go again. Finds number 31 in gun. So the opposing captain. There's two of them for South Metros. South Metro it was. There's a holding free kick's been picked out. And it'll go the way of number 54, Fulcher it is. So held in that marking contest. And a free kick's been picked out. Rightly so. So he strolls in looking to open their account early here. Nice measured approach. Off target, however. Missing that left-hand side. So scores a level, one apiece here in the opening couple of minutes of this Div 1 clash. Kick-out duties here for Easton. Walking out of defensive 50 there. Tall timbered contest here, as Greaves collects. And a nice little pick up there off the deck. On the run was number 10. Landy it was. Been in the action early. He hits up his teammate for Easton in number 15, Gilchrist. So Jamie Gilchrist wearing the teal boots of the opposition's Guernsey. He strolls in on the run. Sends a long ball. It's got the leg, but it's off target. So an inaccurate start to proceedings here at Walker Park Reserve. Been a couple of errors by foot. Nearly coughing it up on that occasion was the Teal defender, although they do it by hand. And mopping up the mess was number 2, Devastin it was. Pouncing on the loose ball to kick a good goal on the run from 30 out. Making the most of his opportunity at ground level there. So the first major of the afternoon, 1-2-8 plays the Souths 0-1. 7-point lead as we head back into the centre circle here. There's two of them to choose from, the far side and the near. They choose the latter. As a centre square infringement's been picked out, and it'll go the way of the ruckman. So Armu it is. The hyphen, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As number 14 in Flintoff spills what he should have taken. Boundary throw in as a result. So +3 conditions here at Walker Park Reserve. Spinning out of trouble there was number 49 for Souths. Was Mountford, in fact. They do well to get it to the halfway point, although that's as far as it'll go. A high long ball. Will sit on the head of the number 18 in Peak it was, and he'll be awarded the free kick. Although Flintoff will be the recipient in the end. So he's quick to go. He'll send it to a hot spot. 2-on-1 situation. Outnumbered in the air was number 15, Well, they were high up and under, arcing ball across the face. It'll be no score. Can you believe that? He was in the in the middle of celebrating. Was Wheeler, in fact. It might have been number 12, as it was rushed through in the end. So gun it is. One of the two co-captains this afternoon for the Souths. Takes a good mark in defensive 50. He bites off the 45 diagonal ball. To Bam, it was. Goes through the centre corridor. They've got numbers through Theodoropoulos. The shortest route home. They head to the hot spot. In front there, working his way to the front was number 18. Dalton it was. And his flying shot is through for a minor score. So it'll be Smith with the kick-out duties for Easton here. They're in the brown and gold today. The Hawks colours. He heads wide to Amu. He's an imposing figure on that far side. Number 22 for Easton collects at ground level. He's disposed of in the process. Wilson it was. As the Souths try and link up by hand. Number 16 it was, right. His kick sits on the arc as a free kick for holding the ball's been picked out. They go forward again. And it might be the captain again, the co-captain in Dalton. He's got an opportunity 30 out on a 45-degree angle to level up, at least with a major each. So his left football looks to be online, and it is. So the Souths answer back with a quickish sort of reply. 139 plays 128. He nursed that home well, just guiding it with ease. Did the captain in Dalton. Number 18, big fan of the left foot, so I am one myself. So back in the centre we are as the Souths make changes. Although 6-6-6 rule, they've got away with one here. Number 16 it was, late to exit the field, and he's come on and made a bang in the process. Downfield free kick paid. And as a result, it'll be Stewart who hits up his teammate on the lead. In number 17, Hansen. So Mitchell Hansen. Probably the adjacent angle that we saw from the captain, Dalton. He wheels around, opening up the angle. It's offline from the outset. Across the face. Bodies crash over the line. And it'll be a throw in that right forward pocket. Left of screen here for Easton. So the two rucks again. Flintoff's in there. The headband wearing Flintoff. Good smother applied there by Stewart. Trying to link up by hand there. Overrunning it. There was number 44 for the Souths. There's a quick kicks. Kicked out only as far as number 10 in Landy. They go off the ground, I think. It'll cross that synthetic pitch. Bumped off it there was the Souths player. A one-on-one contest in the air. Flying there was number 44 and Bam it. They'll go through the corridor again. Clean bowled everyone. Chopping it off now. And trying to spin out of trouble there for Easton. As running onto it now. It'll go through the arms. There's a big heavy hit in front of us here. Tough but fair contest at ground level right in front of us here. So we've got a good picture. No excuse for any wrong names called here. As the sun looks to try and peer through the clouds. So the Rucks go at it again. Running onto it was Chambers. They try and link up by hand. Grabbed by the collar there was the tackler in number 15 or number 16 in right. Trying to spin out of trouble with the ball. Was number 6 it was as a kick's manufactured forward. Trying to tap it out of out of defensive 50 there was the South player, sorry. Boundary line, probably the best result for both sides here. As we'll have a throw in front of the South coach's box here. So toss back into play there. Running onto it there was number 16 in Greaves, the captain. And a great tackle was applied there by Theodoropoulos. The tackle of the day so far, it has to be said. Landy runs onto it, bumping his teammate. He's knocked down two in the process. Eyes only for the footy. Theodoropoulos finds his teammate on the outer. The co-captain that we speak of in gun, number 31. So they try and work it out by hand. Theodoropoulos again, he's a tackling machine. He's laid two notable ones early. So they link up with a wave of runners. Stepping back inside was Chambers. He's got out the back there Adams. He's in pursuit. He'll send a right foot snapping ball back into the hotspot, although with the outstretched hands was Pitt. So they try and switch it now. Although coughing it up there was number 16 in right it was. And there'll be a forward half stoppage the way of Easton as a result. So it's been a free-flowing start to this Division 1 contest of under-15s Interleague football as we tick over the halfway point of the opening term. So thrown in again in front of that South Metro's box again. Held without it was Greaves. He tried to play for the free kick, not awarded. The ball's tumbled out of defensive 50 for the Souths. Trying to run onto it there was Chambers. He'll dribble a kick forward. It'll beat everyone. Clean bowled the lot. Trying to link up by hand to exit. Although a quick kick's manufactured there by number 13 in Adams. An opportunistic effort at ground level. Ensures their second of the day on the board. And they kick clear. A nice little 7-point little buffer here for Easton. So Adams it was. An opportunistic effort. In congestion it was. Just pounced on the loose ball to score. So back in the centre it sits. The two rucks go at it again. And it'll be Easton who win the clearance. Linking up by hand. Chambers was involved. A quick kicks forward now. Bodies fall. All sorts of holding going on as it bubbles about at ground level. They link up by hand on the outer with a tumbling punt by number 38 in Levine it was. So we'll have a throw in just about on that light pole sort of area in front of the Jellis Craig signage. Tossed back into play now. You throw a blanket over 20 of them there. Fisted out there was Theodoropoulos. It's a bit of a mouthful, that one. Scrubby little kick forward. We'll gain about 15. Trying to collect on the run there was the South Metro's player, and a free kick's been picked out. So number 37 it is, Ludewijk. I hope I pronounced that right. As the ball's still bubbling about there. No real clean possession winner. As they try and work it out by hand. Quick kick down the line now is skewed out on the full. And the Souths will be the recipient to send it back down the line. He bites off the 45 ball to Will. That's his last name. And he bites off a 45 ball. So they crisscross it back into the centre now, although not sure what he saw ahead there. Swainston it was, standing in the path. And they're out now through Chambers. He's got an option inboard now. Can he find him? Although the tall timber of Pitt it was, stood in the hole. So not sure he stood on the mark there. Who might have been called to go. Bodies crash in. Theodoropoulos is one of them. spinning out of trouble there was Bam it was. As the game's gone to another level here. Pressure gauge is certainly lifted. One-on-one contest here now. It's the captain, Dalton. He's already got one next to his name. He links up by hand with his teammate and sends a rush sort of ball forward. Off the ground goes Swenson it is, although it'll come back from whence it came with a flying shot off target through for a minor score, missing to the left-hand side. So 2-3-15 plays the South Metro side 1-3-9 as they look to exit now through Wilson it is. Off hands now. Theodoropoulos will collect at ground level. He sends it inboard now to a hot spot. Roving well front and centre was number 11 in Healers. He sends a high up and under and only just landed. Tackled without it there was the South Metro's player. And a free kick's been picked out as a result. 10 metres out, straight in front. You could almost pencil this in. Number 13 has it in Shepherdson. Wasting no time from his set shot. Straight in front, makes no mistake. As they put through their second of the day. And she's a ring-a-ding-ding, scores are tied. 2-3-15 plays exactly that for South Metro. Shepherdson it was, goaling on that occasion. So if the opening term's anything to go by, this game should come down to the wire. As we tick closer to the quarter time siren. Time for one more, you'd think. Stepping through traffic there was the captain, number 31 in Gunn. He does well to find his teammate in Theodoropoulos by hand. Linking up there with a lovely left foot ball was right. A drilling ball inside now. It'll be off hands. Landy collects. He's got a one-on-one contest. Two small in statured men compete. Thrown off it there, although they do well. They've got a wave of runners going forward. The left foot ball will be intercepted by McCluskey. It was. Stood in the right spot, right time. As right it is. Spilling the mark probably did him a favour in being rewarded the high contact free kick there. The pack forms. Chambers was there, ground level. Although picking up and stepping through traffic there was Theodoropoulos. From a standing start, they drive it back down the line. And out on the full is called. The boundary umpire, probably 50 metres away from that, called that. Anyway, Gunn stands underneath this one. Takes a good overhead mark. So he goes laterally. He's got an option inboard in Giorgio. His ball's intercepted now. Cut off by Easton. They drive it forward now. Number 14 will fly in Flintoff. And a high contact free's been picked out. It'll go the way of Chambers. So Blake Chambers misses Landy by foot. And a barrel's been kicked forward and it'll trickle through. Don't tell me from it off one step. The siren unable to save South Metro there as Swainson it might have been. In fact, Fanatsis it was from a standing start. Nails through Easton's third. And they kick clear with a 6-point buffer heading into the second term here. We'll be back on the other side of this with the second term action. So welcome back here for second quarter action of the Interleague match here between the Eastern Football League and South Metro. We've just had the opening quarter go the way of Eastern, leading by a 6-point advantage here as they receive last minute instructions for their second term here. So that late goal helped them kick clear. Nice little buffer extending their lead to start this second term as players head to position. Conditions have sort of subdued somewhat here. Breeze not as blustery. The ground will no doubt have dried out a touch, so just waiting on the siren here to mark the start of the second term in the Div 1 under 15s. So here we go. 6 points the way of Eastern. They'll be kicking to the right of screen this time round. Caught high there was the captain in Greaves. Drew the free kick well. So he goes straight through the corridor now, standing in front there to take a good chest mark there was number 15. He links up by Greaves, who followed up his good work. And he hits up Doverston, who might have one to his name already. So he's been marched on the angle here. Deliberate, slow approach in his set shot routine. Runs in now. He's got a hop and a step and he's as he kicks a great goal there. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. Working it back nicely from the angle. Starting it to that right hand side and it drew back ever so neatly there. So Eastern, they kick clear once again. 12-point advantage in their favour. So back in the centre it sits now. Armu will contest in the ruck again. Smothered ball there. Might have been number 11 in Porter there. Or Wheeler it was rather. He follows up his work with a consecutive effort. Although out on the forward finds. So Greaves standing tall. It'll be through his hands. Missing the mark by hand there was South Metro. Trying to fight for it at ground level and wrestle it back there is Armu. And he's off to the races. So the big ruckman links up by hand through the corridor. Trying to use his body there well. It was number 38 for South Metro in Levine. And it was Devine. So under 16 there, unable to complete the mark. And he's tackled in the process. So he's got the helmet to match the teal Guernsey. I like it. Armu there with the double-handed fist, although Theodoropoulos rather. Bit of a mouthful as I've said. Sends it forward. It'll be through the hands of 54 in Fulcher. Had the height advantage to contest there. His number 19 tries to clear in Shelton. The boundary line will beat them all, so a throw in on that far side. The opening minutes here, second term at Walker Park Reserve. We've got to thank them for hosting all the Interleague action across the weekend here as Greaves looks to burst clear from the stoppage. He fends off. Continuing the run on there was Flintoff. And he kicks a great goal on the run there. Number 14 it might have been, the headband wearing Flintoff. Kicks a great goal on the run. 30 out in closing he was. From an acute angle. And he's made no mistake by foot. So Eastern, they've had the word at the quarter time huddle and they've come out firing. 5-3-33 plays 2-3-15 for South Metro. Amu will contest on his lonesome in the ruck. Collecting it at ground level there was Greaves, although the smothers applied there by Wright. As the whistle's been blown there. The umpire will have it. So he tosses it up again. Amu still wins the hit out, even with an opponent. He gets his hands free, linking up there with number 18 in Peak. And his flying shot goalward will land short, rush through for a minor score. So they're quick to exit now. Through Gun it is, or Guns rather. He goes down the line. It'll sail over the head of an intercepting attempt by Easton it was, and there'll be a holding the ball stoppage. A harsh call there, by my opinion, that means nothing. So they try and link up there. And a hospital sort of handball there by Porter to his teammate standing still. So Theodoropoulos again. He's been a live wire for the South Metros here to start this opening half. Claiming the mark there was Taylor. All sorts of hands in the way of that, I'm sure, but nonetheless, he'll exit by foot. Standing underneath it there was the ruckman. Landy or Greaves it was. Take your pick. They're both the blonde-wearing mullets there. As we'll have a throw-in on that far side. The car park side. So tossed back into play now. It landed in the lap of Murray it was. The throw into his advantage, although Easton will clear. Backing back rather gutsily there was McCluskey. Intercepting well, although his kick was a bit tentative going forward. Trying to step through traffic there and doing well was Bam, it was. Unable to get the 1-2 back there. The pack forms. Gun collects. And his right foot snap. How does this bounce? Unkindly for South Metro. Through for a minor score. Unable to get the needed bend on that to kill it home. So number 20 in Smith with the kick-out duties. He opts to go to the far side wing. Theodoropoulos at ground level there. He's been energetic. It's been an energetic start for him. So they've got a number out if it goes over the back here. And the captain, Dalton, he's already got one to his name. Fighting for it at ground level there. Thrown out there. And the umpire, from a similar position, angled position, saw the same. So Porter, Mason Porter has it. He's got an option in Landy inboard. Finds him by foot. He wheels around on that trusted left foot and finds Flintoff, the previous goal scorer. He's got Jamison out wide. His ball was a little too cute. It stays in the field of play somehow. And across the face, taking a good mark, standing in the right spot there. It was a forward for Easton. He wheels around. No one guarding the angle there. But it's off target nonetheless. So through for another behind. 5-5-35 plays South Metro 2-4-16. The only real blemish in Easton's games has been their goal kicking so far. So the co-captain now has it. Gun. He'll drive it back down the line. A pack forms. Full of tall timber. Playing for the free kick there was Taylor. Unrewarded. And they link up by hand. A wave of runners going forward, although the kick. That's been their downfall going forward. South Metro, that last entry inside 50 by foot, has come undone. So collecting at the half volley there was Hansen. He does well to spin and send a ball forward, although standing in the path to take a good intercept mark was Levine. And Jizzy made Murray work low down. So a couple of errors by foot, although it works out in the end. So 45 has it. Murray here is. He'll drive it to a pack that forms at centre half forward. The ball bubbling about, all sorts of holding going on. The umpires had enough, pointing the way of Easton. So he spots up Chambers inboard. Biting off that diagonal ball. Fisting it away was Gunn there. And he's diving, slinging tackle, was unable to hold on. So at the half volley again, Greaves, the captain, sidesteps well, balking his way clear, and he'll send the long ball over the pack, rush through for a minor score. McCluskey acting as that goalkeeper role. So I mentioned there being Easton being inaccurate going forward. There's been multiple rush behinds, so that probably explains that. They're mucking around with it here. South Metro as Chambers balks his way back inside, and standing on his lonesome there on the top of the square is number 13 in Adams it is, so Jackson Adams. Had a similar set shot from this spot and made no mistake. And on this occasion he does exactly that. So subdued sort of celebration for Adams there, and his teammates just pat him on the back. Nothing really to get excited about, but if you're a fan of Easton, they kick clear once again. 26-point lead in their favour as we tick past the halfway point of the second term. So back in the centre we are. As a 6-6-6 rule, no. Amu tried to plead his case, although he wins the clearance as South Metro try and clear with a skewed ball off the side of the boot. No deliberate decision in this league, although it would have been paid. So thrown in now in front of that Eastern bench. Amu contests in the ruck. Theodoropoulos puts his head under it. Unlucky not to be awarded a free kick. As Gunn gets up on the bottom of that pack. Stacks on sort of style. So Amu contests again. And deemed as having prior was Chambers there. He didn't dispose of it correctly according to the umpire. So he goes back inboard. Running onto it there was number 22 in Wilson. Quick kick forward now. Theodoropoulos gains about 15, although trapping it well there was number 23, not on our team sheet. So that does me no help. It'll be off hands, although the juggling mark might be Adams again. The green boots, if he's standing out up forward and proving a problem for South Metro, as a 25-metre free kick has been picked out. I'd love to have an ear over there, 10 metres out, to understand why that was paid, but nonetheless, he just calmly slots through his third, I believe, and Easton 7th for the day. So 7-6-48 plays 2-4-16. As this time we see the 6-6-6 rule So I was premature on the call in the previous centre clearance. So Nickel is marched 25 metres. Bubbling about there with Landy in possession. So majority of South Metro fans, it seems, stunned by the result in this opening half. So collecting it at ground level and working his way through traffic there was a South Metro defender there. Tapping it to the advantage of his teammate there. Did well as he bumped as he kicked. Downfield free kick in shoes. Number 39 in Ross. So Ross has it. He's pointed goalward. A sign of confidence. You like to see that from a young man. 40 out. In front of his team's bench. This could be the confidence booster they need. He won't score. It'll be sent to a hot spot. Theodoropoulos is there. So is Landy for the opposing side in Easton as they clear through Doveston. Down the line he goes. Unable to complete the mark at his bootlaces there was Easton as Theodoropoulos gets it again. Just racking it up. The ball seemed to have, or deemed to have hit the deck. There, Wilson unrewarded. So back down the line it goes. And standing tall was Flintoff it was again. So the headband wearing Flintoff will head to a 2-on-1 situation favouring South Metro and they'll mark as a result. And he's off to the races. Goes through the corridor. The shortest route to home. They link up well by hand. Through Wheeler, drives it forward. Bodies crash and collide. Slow to their feet was Fanatsis it was. Copped the brunt of that knock. He's back to his feet though now. Good signs. As stepping through traffic was Doveston again. Finding his handball in Landy, although his rush flying shot will bounce on all sorts of car windows out on the full there. So they go back down the line. And Theodoropoulos there runs it, carries it by hand, although standing in the path to cut it off was Wilson. It's been a stalwart back there for Easton as they miscommunication in the middle there. They've got a wide runner. Doveston spots up. Shelton it is. He's fumbled it. He had time and space, but no more. As South Metro on the counter-attack. I've liked his game. Number 49, Mountford, spots up his teammate. The Teal Guernsey, waiting for him to turn his back on us. Thank you, Shelton. So Shelton has it. We mentioned their previous set shot, hoping to be a kickstarter for their momentum run. So what's Shelton got from the set shot? He strolls in, leans back on the set shot kick, and it'll fall short, rush through. And Smith with the kick-out duties again. So a set sort of play from the defensive 50. As players huddle up and then head to that far side. Landy contests aerially. Running away with it was Theodoropoulos, and a 3-on-1 situation there. Marking was Ross. He's called to go. Heads to a hot spot there. Leading onto it was Fulcher. He's kicked one for the day now. Although Smith exits, and Chambers unable to complete the mark on the far side, and will have a throw in as a result. So if you're just tuning in, we've had the under-14s, Easton, they ran out winners in that contest the Div 2, and a similar sort of path is setting up today as the ball's cleared. Down the corridor it goes. Past the centre circle. Linking up by hand. There's Theodoropoulos again. Kicks it to Mountford. And it's been their shallow entries that I think if you're a fan of Eastern, you'd be quite impressed with. They've had a handful of long-range attempts to no avail. So Mountford on this occasion, can he prove me wrong? His right foot ball will fall short of the goal line. Eastern decide to keep it back into play, although the umpires will converge. And we'll signal all clear, a goal. So Mountford, a sort of delayed celebration in goal. I like that from the umpire though. Holding strong, and on the eve of the halftime siren, Mountford converts. So it goes without saying, South Metro needed that. Can that kickstart a bit of their run on in the second half? We'll wait and find out on the other side of this. So welcome back, listeners, to the sportscast coverage of Interleague action across the weekend of the Queen's birthday. This is the second quarter action here between Eastern Football Netball League and South Metro. So play set to get underway shortly. We've had goals either side of the quarter time and half time siren as that clock expired. So with South Metro getting the latter of that. So we'll see if they can continue to build some momentum. Just waiting on the siren here. Shouldn't be too far away. Umpires just sorting out their flags, and that should just about do us here. So here we go, second half action, Division 1 under-15s Interleague. Here, South Metro win out. The first clearance, although slipping over in the process, was Giorgio. A turnover will ensue as Landy's caught by the collar, dragged down, somehow manufactured a handball in the process. And a inside 50 entry will be the result. It'll fall through the hands of number 12, Wheeler. And trying to spin out of trouble there was number 15 in Gilchrist. Tries to wrestle it back after turning it over. And they link up by hand, trying to pivot through. Congestion here was number 9 in Fanatsis. Diving on underneath, stiff to get a free, not to get a free kick was Doverston. Hit his head under it. Head in the hole there, working in a phone box. So tapped into space by Gilchrist. And it'll be the captain in Dalton, one of the two co-captains for South Metros. So they exit. Although Greaves, playing behind the ball, will send it back inside 50. So forward they go. All sorts of pushing and holding going on. Number 17 will try and clear. Hanson it was. But he was caught trying to run away with it, and South Metro will exit. So using his hands, his outstretched hands, to body number 34 out of the way there in the marking contest. As a quick kicks, dribbled forward now. Trying to collect was Fanatsis. He got smashed in the process. Doverston's there, along with his counterpart, Kafiso. So a tackle now, and there'll be a ball up. So Flintoff got no elevation as Pitt, with the height advantage, won the hit out. And the throw's been picked out now. It'll go the way of Landy. So Landy dobs it forward for Doverston. A short hit-up lead. It was a pinpoint left foot ball. And it's fluoro boots to fluoro boots. So they link up. Greaves runs into a hole. Doverston ignores him. Instead, opts to go himself. It'll fall short of the goal line. Kept in play, although not for long. Number 16 in right, walking it over to the try line. So Gunn now has it in that left back pocket for South Metro. He goes down the line. Bees to a honeypot on this broadcasting side wing. You can throw a blanket over 30 of them. It'll be number 22 for Easton, who sends it forward. Out the back there is Adams. He's got a pair to his name and trying to step through traffic. Adams gets it back. And then tapping it back into play was number 17, although only as far as Murray it was for South Metro, who exits. Although not for long, it'll come back from whence it came. Number 6 in Confiso with a flying shot goalward. Misses narrowly. And they exit through right, so they're quick to move it on. Dalton stands underneath it, and he wheels and goes. One bounce. That'll do. Drives it back down the line. Hugging that white line of the square. As number 22 now, Wilson, goes to a 2-on-1 situation, and it favours gun aerial Raleigh. He goes down the line, although Wilson slaps it out of his hands. Trying to run out of there, sorry. As Amu takes a good mark. Number 25, the ruckman for Eastern here, has it in front of the Australian flag. So he drives it forward now to a hot spot. It'll be off hands. Wright's there, along with number 15, Gilchrist, who steps through traffic, sends a dribble kick forward, and it'll be rushed through for a minor score. So they're defending grimly, the South Metro side here. They've been peppered inside 50 to start this third term here. And they've done as best they can. So tossed up again. Trying to get it on the burst was Bammett. Although a high up and under sent forward, with eyes only for the ball. Might have been the captain, Dalton, it was. So leading by example, he's awarded the free kick. He goes high and wide to the far side. Boundary side it is Amu, the ruckman. Trying to step through traffic. Greaves now sends it forward. It's a skewed ball, and it'll land in the lap of a defender. Murray it might have been, although his kick smothered. So the forward pressure of Eastern here, for Nazis it was. The 1%ers coming to fruition here and working wonders for the home side. So it'll be thrown in, right forward pocket, if you're a fan of the brown and gold here. A high up and under now. And the mark's been paid. The juggling attempt down the line there. So he'll go on inboard now. They've got numbers. If he can pick it up at his feet, they go wide. Swainston has it. He goes inboard now to Landy. And the one-handed attempted mark by Wheeler is good. So he goes to Amu. The tall target there. Landy collects at ground level. He was in the centre momentarily before. And caught high might have been, although was out of play first. Or crossing the goal line, rather. So minor score. So slipping over there, 44, Bammett. Comedy of errors on that far side. He gets it back, tries to make amends, although he's caught in the process. And the umpire, with his arms out, Paisley holding the ball free. Greaves, the captain, steadies in time and space. And an anti-climax going forward, out on the full. So Wright has it now. And would you believe that? There must be a magnet on that in the trees on that far pocket. We're drawing the ball out on the full. We've had two in a row. So they look inboard now. A short hit up. It's denied by the Metro defender. The South Metro defender, that is. We'll have another throw in. So thrown back into play. Greaves to contest the ruck. It'll fall short. A shallow throw in. They try and link up by hand. The left foot ball through the corridor. Landy's there, as well as number 19, his teammate Shelton. Chambers trying to wrestle it clear and unable to do so. So we'll have a ball up in that centre circle. Armu just takes it out of the ruck and finds Landy by hand. Set play sort of stuff, although the kick forward is cut off by number 45 in Murphy it was. So a good couple of marks here. Can they string a couple of, marks here? They have, but as they're holding the ball, free kick's been picked out. They'll head wide, they've stretched this Eastern defence well. There's a good juggling mark's been taken by Georgiou. Hope I've pronounced that right. So Chambers pursues it now. He'll balk his way inside. Although the hospital handball to Wilson, it might have been, was left a bit flat-footed. As a high free kick's been picked out. Gun it might have been, and there's an aftermath. So the two captains, bit of biffo. They'll contest this mark here, and Greaves wins out. Probably a sign of things to come as they sit comfortably in 29-point lead. So the ball bubbling about at centre corridor now. Number 44, Bamit, liked his game. Smooth moving left footer. He'll get on the end of this again and try and collect it at ground level. Just paddles it forward and gains about 15 in the process. Wet weather footy sort of stuff. Just taking territory. So we'll have a throw in car park side. Tossed again. Armu and Fulcher to contest in the ruck. Landy dumps his opposition number in something or other. He goes inboard. The left foot of the Eastern player links up. Although another hospital handball. It was Flintoff. Hansen has it now. He's got Armu far and wide, unable to hit him up. And there's Bamit again. The left foot ball finds a target, as you'd expect. So it's the captain, Dalton, has it. He drives it down the line. And the mark's been paid. I think they both had hold of either side of the Sharon. It's been awarded the way of Box Hill, not Box Hill, Eastern, sorry. Fooled by the colours. So Landy has it now. Collecting on the half volley well was the Eastern defender. They link up. Theodoropoulos spots up number 39 in Ross. So he drives it forward. He's got numbers on this far side. And he's slow to turn his back. It was number 19 in Lackman. So we mentioned in the first half the shallow entries that have been all Metro been able to muster up. It's no different on this occasion. 40 out it sits. Lackman with a big task ahead. It's online, although the distance is a worry. And in fact, distance was never a worry. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's somehow evaded the tall timber on the goal line and it snuck through. So Lackman it was, number 19, comes off for a deserved rest after that long bomb. So they're flying the flag well here, South Metro. If they can grab the next one, the all-important next one, and then maybe the next one after that as well, they could be in with a chance here. Plenty of football to be played as we tick past the halfway point of this third term. So two rucks will contest again. Landy in those fluoro red boots will drive a left foot ball. Spilling the one-handed attempt mark was Gilchrist. So as a good mark's been taken there by Adams. He was sandwiched in between two Metro defenders. I just want to circle back to Flintoff and Gilchrist working in tandem there. Two cricketing names, obviously, for opposing countries. You'd think I'm talking about the wrong sport if you didn't have eyes on this. So Adams has it now. He's had 3 set shots from the exact point, 15 metres out, and he makes no mistake on this occasion. And just as South Metro smell any sense of a comeback, they're quickly denied, with Eastern answering back. So back in the centre now, it sits 8-10, 58, 4-5, 29. That of South Metro. So they link up by hand again. Porter it is. He'll turn it over, in fact. Mountford standing in the way. He'll get the 1-2, linking up with the ruckman in Fulcher. At ground level, he'll try and keep it in play is Mountford, although the boundary line wins out. Barely anything has beaten Mountford today. The boundary line on that occasion, a rare winner. So the ball tossed back into play again. It favoured neither side, as number 3 in Darcy Jamison sends a shallow sort of a ball down the line. Smart 1% tap will go the way of Eastern, although cutting it off swiftly, standing in the hole, was McCluskey. I've loved his intercept game today. Theodoropoulos, small in stature, but he's got a big heart, shown on that occasion. Taking a good overhead mark, so a 3. Oh, I was just about to say a succession of 3 overhead marks in a row. Something they haven't been able to muster up. As on the turnover, Eastern now through Doveston. Adams tracks it in pursuit, along with his direct matchup in Levine. It is. The boundary line will win out, in front of a cluster of fans perched under the shelter of beneath the scoreboard that reads 8-10, 58, 4-5, 29. Nice little segue there. So 2 rucks go at it again. Mountford there, along with the captain Dalton, co-captain that is. He links up with Levine. We spoke about him being the direct matchup on Adams. Adams a clear winner in that one-on-one. Not on that occasion, just for the day I'm talking. So, back in the forward arc we are. Dalton sends it to a dangerous spot in the corridor, not where you want to turn it over. That's exactly what they do. Flintoff will contest. Dalton tracks it, he's hot. You heard the calls of hot. They try and fight for it at ground level, trying to paddle it to his advantage, was number 5. He does well, finding Chambers. It was Stewart, in fact, on his hands and knees. Can they clear now? They've got a teammate in board there, number 50 in Pitt, the ruckman, who was standing still. Not a good policy, although Murray finds a teammate on the outer wing side. So far and wide, they stretch this Walker Park reserve. Try and build some sort of momentum, although that's quickly come to a halt as Mountford loses his footing and is rather harshly pinged as a result. So they're quick to move it on now, is Easton. Chambers now. He's got time and space to assess his options forward and survey the scene. And all he could muster up was a skewed kick forward. The umpires will converge as to whether or not an out on the full decision is paid or a throw-in. It'll be the latter. So Easton now, with all the ascendancy, Dalton needs to have more of an impact. Left foot ball tumbling out of bounds. It did not spin correctly at all. Doveston it was, Lachlan. The fluoro orange boots. It's a good look in the yellow Guernsey. So Greaves is there to contest the ruck. Slung was Stewart. No Pryor deemed the umpire. So a good tackle laid there. They're fighting ever so grimly, this South Metro defence here. Dalton now. He's got a short little 15-metre ball. Mountford is released out on the as a runner on the outer. And the ball will beat everyone in front of the Eastern bench. So it'll be thrown in again. Guns there. It's through his hands. He'll try and follow up at ground level and go again for a third effort, although Landy, he's been influential, denies the kick forward by South Metro and then spinning out of trouble there. The handball did no favours for number 26 in Nickel. He'll drive it forward now. Chambers is there at ground level with Gilchrist, or Flintoff rather. And steadying there was Gilchrist, it was in fact, who's kicked a great goal on the run. Showed composure to enter back inboard with a steadying kick straight over the goal umpire's hat. So there you have it. They're 9th for the day, and they kick clear once again. As it's done for the... it's been a similar sort of occurrence on the eve of every quarter-time siren, or every siren rather, with a goal coming to fruition just before it sounds. No different on this occasion with Gilchrist it was. So we had Flintoff and Gilchrist, the two cricketing surnames, playing for the same team on this occasion, linking up there. And the latter of which Gilchrist able to hit the scoreboard with a penetrating ball from 40 out. So we'll be back on the other side of this with the final term here at Walker Park Reserve. 20 minutes. So welcome back to Interleague action here at Walker Park Reserve. This is in fact the final quarter, so the last time you'll be hearing my voice, thankfully. So your wishes have been answered there, but Easton have kicked clear. And they lead by 35 points, 9-10-64, playing South Metro 4-5-29. As we wait for the siren here to mark the final term. So Interleague action here at Walker Park Reserve coming to a close with the final term underway. And it starts with Bamit, being held without it. He's got an option out wide. Lackman it was. He turns and goes, although standing in the hole is Archer. First time I've called his name today. So he's quick to go back down the line. There's 2-on-2 there, and it'll be off hands. Theodoropoulos, links up with the co-captain in gun. Flying through the hands of South Metro there. Linking up with the ruckman by hand. High up and under now, and using his body well was number 20 in McCall. I want to say it might be Michael. There's a K thrown in there, so that's confused me, but nonetheless, 10 metres out, wasting no time. Just calmly slots through South Metro's fifth for the day, and his first. So there's light at the tunnel here for South Metro. Not completely out of it. First goal was important, and it's gone in their favour. So the all-important centre clearance again. Amu wins the hit out, although straight down the throat of Bamit again. And he's set upon. Got his hands free, but the whistle was blown prior. So tossed high again. Amu wins out. Trying to wrestle for it at ground level was Theodoropoulos, and Wright is claimed in a strong tackle. So Amu, that clear height advantage, although it's palmed straight down the throat of Theodoropoulos. The ruckman in Amu links up with Landy. He'll drive it forward, and he's got the captain in Greaves for Easton, standing all on his lonesome out the back. Seemed to just judge it better inside 50 as it sailed the pack. And he stood his ground 15 metres out to hold on. So he strolls in now and just calmly slots through. Easton's 10th, so they notch up 10. 10-10, it's pretty reading if you're a fan of the brown and gold here. They extend their lead to 35 points, doubling South Metro's score. And as it's been a sign of today's result, the quick answer. So an off the ball whistle's been blown. And it'll go the way of South Metro. So number 15 in Gilchrist infringing there. They've made a meal of it though in the centre. Bammett gets his hands free somehow. Right. He spills it. Perceived pressure. Thrown out there by number 18 for Easton there. Number 3 in Jamison. Try and fight for it at ground level. Trying to burst clear was number 9 in Fanatsis. And a good claiming tackle there has been awarded rather harshly. Pryor was deemed to have been had as number 15 Gilchrist sends a high ball into the Greaves direction again. The captain again limping on his downfall after rising high. Might just be cramp, you're right. A few murmurs behind me suggesting that, but here we are nonetheless. The captain, Greaves, for 2 in a minute. Sends a long ball and it'll sail the goal line pack. He's fine. He's fine. Don't know what he was complaining about. That right foot of his, deadly. And they kick clear again. So they're 11th for the day. It's been Easton that have dominated every game here at Walker Park Reserve. There's a 2 rucks contest again. Amu wins out. That clear height advantage. Dominant as Doveston there at ground level trying to spin out of trouble. He sends a high up and under. Going back with the flight. And awarded in the process is Pascal. The advantage is paid. Gunn has it. So the co-captain, he's got an option in number 19. Lackman it is. Sends it to a hot spot. The other co-captain's there. He'll rove it. What can he do with the snap around the body? It's straight through the middle. Straight through the big sticks. So the captain, Dalton, on his preferred left. Just wheeling around. Snapping over his shoulder. To good effect. So the co-captain's linking up there to slot through South Metro's 6th for the day. Both sides defensively have dropped off a touch, with goals coming in quick succession either way. As a sharp holding the ball is called. Pings Amu, the ruckman. So Gunn, he's got a couple of options out wide, although standing in the hole was Gilchrist. So Gilchrist, not with a pair of gloves, drives it forward. Reeves is there. And number 9 just straightens. And it's all too easy for Fanatsis. They had the numbers inboard. And it was Alexander who got on the end of it. They linked up by hand. So far too easy there for Easton. The coach should be ecstatic, with that play there. How that unfolded, sorry. So 12-10-82 plays South Metro 6-5-41. As Easton will try and send it forward again through Fanatsis. And a good juggling mark's been taken there by Hansen. He'll send it to a hot spot. It's a good policy. 10 metres out. It's off hands. Adams will try and collect at ground level. Has advantage been paid? It has. So he's right, left foot snap. Adams it was. Sort of an eerie sort of feeling here. No real... No real celebration or anything from the crowd, but nonetheless, Adams lost count of how many he's kicked today. He just added to his total then with a left foot snap. It was quick thinking, taking the advantage. So South Metro, they look to clear, although it's cut off in the process. Number 23, not on our team sheet. Doesn't help. Ducking out of it was Gunn there. Unable to find his target by hand, although mopping up his mess there. He does well. Dalton's there. He'll try and fend off. Kicks a low dart forward. Lands at the feet of their full forward. And spinning out of trouble there was number 20 for Easton Smith it was. Now look to clear through Jamison, who's dealt with after the kick, and there'll be a downfield free kick as a result. You don't mind seeing that from South Metro, showing a bit of fight. So kick forward now. It'll bounce over the head of Chambers. And they'll link up with Mountford here, getting on the end of it. Drop what he should have taken there was number 34 in white. Spilled a sitter in the end. As they link up by hand, does South, or Easton rather, as done. Or Gun. Applies a good tackle there and is rewarded on Stewart there. So they go forward again. Shelton has it. Lands in his lap on the forward arc. Left side. A pack forms and standing in front spot there was the Eastern defender. And he goes wide. Another good mark. So consecutive overhead marks, and he continues to run. Hanson. A good build up here. Look at the ball movement to Greaves. Finding him on the lead, it was the captain. Precision ball movement through the corridor. The shortest route to home it is. And Greaves leads on the end of it. It's precise ball movement. Can he complement the swift efforts of Easton going forward? Set shot kick collides into the goalpost. So an anticlimax there. Another poster. We've had one at either end, I think, today. So the kick-out duties now for South Metro. It'll come back from whence it came. Hanson there with a drilling ball inside 50. It bounced off the chest of the Eastern forward, although he was quick to recover on the second bite. It was a low bullet by Hanson. And Doveston finds it on the chest. Almost pierced his chest in the end. So he goes forward now. And it's skewed off the side of the boot. Never looked likely. So their 12th blemish of the afternoon. Rounds their score up to 90. A 39-point advantage in their favour. There's a big long ball. It's kicked onto that far wing side. It'll be off hands and trickle out of bounds. Car park side. So the wind starts to pick up here. Don't blame you sitting at home, rugged up, listening to this. So they'll try and exit through the corridor now. Number 15 it was, Gilchrist. Slipping over there was Chambers. And as a result, South Metro will be able to clear. Good overhead mark there. Taken by Lackman it was. Or rather, number 19, Shelton, for the opposing side. So getting mixed up on the team sheet here as they switch it. There's a rapturous applause here for Porter. Mason Porter, he's got a good following behind him here. He sends it forward into the path of Hanson. He's shown his ability by foot. And on that occasion, it's no different. Sends a right foot snapping ball straight through the middle. The goalkeeper on the line, unable to affect the kick and lay a paw to it. And as a result, Eastern have their 14th for the day. So we mentioned they're under 14s. There's a good little segue that. Getting the job done prior to this. And you can almost pencil in a W for their under 15s Div 1 side here. So Theodoropoulos looks to drive it forward now. Spilling the mark there. Thought it could have been paid there. To Lackman it was. And standing strong underneath it there was number 11 in Healess. He balks his way clear, although as it's been their problem all day, that last entry inside 50 proving a problem. So Gilchrist exits down the line. Trying to link up by hands. Mountford's there. It's probably been the best for South Metro. There's a good claiming, disposing tackle there is laid by Flintoff as Mountford comes off for a deserved rest. So they kicks forward now. Trying to rove it at ground level was the crumbing Doveston. And he's wrapped up. Stewart was in amongst it too at ground level on all fours. So it's tossed high again. And it was Flintoff with a clear height advantage. Won the hit out. Adams at ground level. He's dangerous. Hanson's there along with Peake. Stack of player. Stacks on at the mouth of goal there. And legged was Theodoropoulos. So below the knees. Gifted the free kick and they'll try and exit. Through hands they go. Although the forward pressure of Eastern proving too much to handle as numbers with Stewart, one of them taking good chest mark, left wide open. So the mouth guard goes in the sock. Kai Stewart, no angle to speak of. Sends his left foot ball straight through the middle for their 15th of the day, and they notch up to three figures. So Stewart it was. Lovely left foot ball. Good little technical approach. He's done that before. So back in the centre we are. So we tick under the 5-minute mark remaining. Cafiso's there. Sends it high and wide. Keeping it in play there was the South Metro player. It won't work out well. Claiming a good tackle was Bammett. It was. But it'll allow Greaves, it might have been. In fact, Gilchrist it was. To stream forward. Almost part of the season, then shanked his kick. So it'll go high. Geez, a good lead there by Landy. Although, gun from 3 deep. Managed to bring it to ground. So Theodoropoulos, front of the Aussie flag there, bites off the 45 and they sort of run into each other there. There's a good mark's been taken there by number 39 in Ross, who's been starved of opportunity going forward. He's in two minds. Opts to have a shot. Why not? So 2 minutes remaining here at Walker Park Reserve. And if that doesn't sum up their Eastern Metro's day, I don't know what will. Amu spills the mark. He had a couple of bites at it. Then tries to spin out of trouble. The ruckman going for a bit of a trot. So there's Stewart. Plays a good tackle there. They try and fight for it, trying to burst through there. A high fend-off's been picked out, and it'll go the way of Shepherdson. He's got one major to his name. He bites off that 45, and countless errors by foot, working them undone. So Hanson's there, unable to trap it at ground level. Although Eastern have the numbers at ground level, they seem to have more numbers on the field, as Armu takes a good mark low down. Sliding on his knees to complete it. And the big ruckman backs himself in from the angle. So we're right behind this one. We can ride it home with big Armu. So what's he got? The big ruckman. Oh, it fades late. Needed to start at that right goalpost. So the clock will beat any chance of a score for Eastern Metro here. Or South Metro, sorry, how am I going? You'd think I'd have it down pat by now. As the siren sounds, marking a dominant display by Eastern Football Netball League here. 15-13, 103. Plays South Metro 6-5, 41. Class just coming to the fore here. They made every poster winner. Did Eastern, and they will prove hard to beat coming up in these later interleague stages here. As that'll conclude the sportscast coverage here at Walker Park Reserve. Just reiterating, Eastern running out 50-odd, 60-odd point, 62-point winners. There you go. Bit of quick maths to finish that, but it's been a dominant day, a dominant display here for Eastern, winning 2 from 2 in the men's clash here at Walker Park Reserve. I've been Trent Callan. Thanks for joining us.
Say hi to her. Yeah, good. See you later. Yeah.